Oh my gosh, guys. I'm so hungry. I didn't eat today yet. Hello lovelies, welcome back to a new video. I'm not gonna keep explaining that I'm in school. Like, those of you that know, like, if you know, you know what I mean. I'm back with another girl talk. You guys already know how girl talks work. I asked you to send me questions on Instagram and then I answer them in this video. I'm not gonna waste any time with this intro. We're just gonna go ahead and hop straight into the questions. So the first question is, does it minimize my faith for me to desire to go to therapy? Absolutely not. I get this question a lot, you guys, like a lot. So I was really excited to address it in this video. There is nothing wrong with seeking some professional counseling or professional therapy to help you with things that you are struggling with, or if you just kind of want to talk to someone, express some things and get a different perspective as to what's really going on, and someone that can professionally help you navigate through some of these challenges. Today I actually want to talk to you guys about Faithful Counseling. Thank you to Faithful Counseling for sponsoring this video. Faithful Counseling is professional Christian counseling that is offered to you guys on a secure online platform. I have tried Faithful Counseling. I had my first session with my therapist and it went amazing, you guys. Like, those 45 minutes put like 2 weeks of my life into perspective. My therapist was able to pray with me. We were able to talk about spiritual components that related to events happening in my life, and also the clinical side of things happening in my life. And you guys, to have that like holistic approach to therapy is just so amazing. I love being able to be open with my faith when I'm talking to someone. So with Faithful Counseling, once you sign up, you can literally begin communicating with the therapist within 48 hours. It took me maybe a little over 24 hours for them to match me with a therapist, and I was able to begin scheduling, journaling, or messaging my therapist right away. You get timely and thoughtful responses when you message your therapist, and you can schedule weekly video or phone sessions. So you can either chat, or you can talk on the phone, or you can do a face-to-face. So whatever way and method that you are comfortable, you can use. Faithful Counseling is also committed to the best therapeutic experience for you, so you can switch therapists if need be, absolutely free of charge, you guys. One of the biggest bonuses about Faithful Counseling is that it is much more affordable than traditional therapy, and there's also financial aid available if it is still a little bit out of your price range to be able to pay for. Again, guys, this is not a crisis line. This is not a self-help. This is actual professional Christian counseling that is offered to you securely online. If you use my specific code to sign up for Faithful Counseling, you can get 10% off, you guys. I'm gonna have my link in the description box. It's also displayed right now on the screen. faithfulcounseling.com/Gabrielle. Faithful Counseling wants you guys to start a happier life today, and I really pray that you guys take advantage of this amazing resource. So to answer your question, there's absolutely nothing wrong with getting therapy as a Christian. I actually encourage it. I think therapy is good for everyone, whether you're going through something or not. Thank you again to Faithful Counseling for sponsoring this video, and you guys don't forget to click that link in the description box to get 10% off of your online therapy. The next question is how to deal with people pleasing, really out here struggling. I understand, sis. First of all, I want to say that people are never going to be satisfied. That is like a very important thing for you to actually grasp. You're never going to be able to please everyone anyway, so why even try? You know what I mean? Like, it's not like if I get good enough I can master this skill. No, it's not possible. You can never please everyone. The second thing I would say to really think about is why you're doing what you're doing. Why are we down here on earth? Why are we living? Why are we using our gifts, our talents, our skills? Why do we do the things that we do every day? If it's to please people, they're never going to be pleased. So technically you're doing everything for nothing. And is that really how you want to live? Like, do you really want to be doing everything for no reason at all? Like, that doesn't make any sense. The only person that we need to be occupied with pleasing is God. It's so much easier to please him than it is people. Like, he just wants us to show up. He just wants us to keep him included in everything, and he wants us to be obedient to what he tells us to do, and he's pleased. Just like that. Like, just like that. It's very, very, very easy to think about, hey, is what I'm doing pleasing God, even if other people don't like it? Because they don't have to like it. They don't have to be okay with it. As long as God is okay with it, that's all that matters. So remember to just think, am I doing this for people, which means I'm doing it for nothing? Or am I doing it for God, which means I'm doing it for everything? Next question is how to deal with feeling ugly due to beauty standards and race. If you guys have watched any of my confidence videos, you would know and hear that I have opened up about the struggle before that I have had in my life. Obviously, growing up as a Black woman in America, there was not a lot of representation. I'm 24 years old, so when I was growing up, like as a kid, kind of middle school, early years of high school, there wasn't a lot of representation in the media at all of Black women. Still to this day, I don't think there's enough, but there's a lot more now than there was when I was actually growing up and learning about self-esteem and all those types of things. I'm going to share this story with you guys really quickly. I remember my sophomore year of high school, I was really getting into doing my makeup and I wanted to wear foundation. And I went to a drugstore. A particular brand did not have a shade of foundation dark enough for me. I don't consider myself to be light skinned, maybe fair skin or whatever, but there wasn't even a shade dark enough for me in the store. And so I did not end up purchasing any foundation because it wasn't gonna be my shade. I'm saying all that to say that I did not get my confidence in myself based on my representation in society. I really learned that I don't have to feel ugly just because other people don't know how to appreciate my beauty. Let me say that again. I did not have to feel ugly just because other people did not know how to appreciate my beauty. Beautiful just because God made you, that's enough, okay? That's literally enough. You are who you are and it's intentional. God is a very intentional God. He made you the way that you are on purpose. And it's beautiful regardless of if society doesn't know how to appreciate that or not. I want you to start thinking about it in that way instead of thinking about how can my race be beautiful to someone else or how can my gender be beautiful to someone else. None of that matters. It's already beautiful, and if people don't see it, that's their problem. You know what I mean? My mom is overprotective. I'm gonna be 14 very soon, and I just want to know if it's bad that I want to start to wear makeup. She says that she starts to use makeup at 17 to 18. And I know that I'm pretty, but I just want to use makeup for fun. So this is more like a situational question, and I did put on my story to ask you guys if you would me to kind of distinguish the girl talk just regular questions with a scenario situation type thing. So let me know down in the comments also if that's something you want me to do. But for the sake of this video, I'm definitely going to say always listen to your mom. There may be reasons that you may not understand yet as to why she's preventing you from really getting into makeup. Something you can do, which is something I also did, is I just practiced wearing makeup at home. So when I would leave the house, I would have to take it off. I couldn't leave the house with it on, but I loved it so much, and I will always watch YouTube videos about how to do it, which is how I taught myself. So you can this time perfecting your skill and really getting good at makeup so that when you do wear it out of the house, you'll know what you're doing. You're gonna look flawless. You're only 14, so you have a lot of time to look good in makeup. So don't rush the process. Listen to your mom. Maybe try to just talk to her and ask her, can you start practicing instead of actually wearing it out of the house, and she may be more okay with that. Any advice for a Christian 18-year-old girl who has never had a boyfriend but is open to dating? Love your work. Thank you. So I think my advice would be, I don't know where you are in your life as an 18-year-old, but when I was 18, I thought that I was ready for a boyfriend and I thought I wanted a boyfriend, and girl, I was not ready for a boyfriend and I did not want a boyfriend, okay? At 18 years old, I was kind of starting the transition to adulthood. So regardless of what the law says, I do not believe that we're adults when we're 18. We're still trying to figure things out depending on our own personal experiences. But in my case, I was nowhere near an adult. I was still trying to figure things out. I was in this awkward transition from being dependent on a lot of people and things to go through life to becoming more independent and to having to do things on my own and be responsible for myself. And this doesn't only mean schoolwork. When you say 18, you think, okay, high school to college, so now I have to be responsible for going to class and doing my work. That's not really the small things I'm talking about. I'm talking about like being responsible for my character, being responsible for who I'm going to choose to be, who I'm going to decide to be. Am I going to stand on my faith or not? Figuring out my confidence. All those types of things is like what I was going through when I was 18. And I don't think that I was complete enough to want a boyfriend then. So my advice would just be to really pray and be sure that you are whole in yourself with just you and God before you want to get in the dating scene. Dating is fine. I think it's great. You know, I encourage you to date and get married one day, but just be sure that you're in the right place to be able to handle dating someone and that you're not looking for someone to complete you in areas that you may not be all the way complete in. So just do some self-reflection first, and then if you're ready, go for it. Next question is tips on becoming more open about your faith without being worried you will be judged. So unfortunately, you are going to be judged. I'm going to start with the bad part of this answer first. Like, you are going to be judged. There are going to be people that don't like you. There's going to be people that don't understand, that's going to think it's weird, going to say you're worshiping a sky daddy. Like, what type of weird statement is that anyway? But the point is that we're going to suffer persecution for literally simply just expressing our faith and making that known. There's no way around that. But I would say that the tip getting past that is first understanding that it's gonna happen regardless. Like, it's gonna happen either way. So think about what your purpose is in expressing your faith. Why do you want to express your faith? It's so that you can bring others to Christ. It's so that you can share your testimony, so other people can see and notice God in your life, and so that they will want to seek him out for themselves. Not everybody is gonna want to, but somebody is going to want to, and you are going to be responsible for your own people who are going to find God through you. So don't let the fact that people are going to judge you or not understand you stop you from speaking out to help save another soul, because that's really what's more important. And I'm not saying that it's always easy, but once you do it, you will honestly get to a point where you understand that, hey, this is just how it's going to be. And when you understand that, it's a lot easier to cope with it and deal with it. Honestly, you're going to have so much more fulfillment from the lives that you're going to touch and reach than you are from the people that don't understand. This question is, I would love to know how you push past fears. This is a great question, and like, if I'm being totally honest with you guys, I don't even think that I completely know the full answer. But something that I was actually reading this morning, which will probably be a couple of days from now by the time I post this video, but I was reading this morning in Joshua. I'm gonna actually get the exact scripture for you guys. You can read it for yourself. Joshua 24 and 23. This is the Message version, which actually just gave me a whole nother revelation. So it says, Joshua said, now get rid of all the foreign gods you have with you. Say an unqualified yes to God, the God of Israel. Basically, fear is a foreign god. Okay, think of fear as a foreign god. So it's like you're saying, oh, I'm afraid of this. Oh, I'm afraid of this. And then you're not pushing past it to get to where God is actually telling you to go and get to the things that God is actually telling you he has for you, because you're like worshiping this foreign god of fear. And Joshua is like, give God an unqualified yes. So that means like, I'm not even qualified. I'm like terrified, but like, I'm still gonna say yes. You know what I mean? Normalize saying yes to God in your imperfections, in your fear, in your insecurities, in your anxiety, like all that stuff. And just say yes, because it's like in the yes that's going to help you get through the thing. Submit all of that to God. Stop feeling like you gotta have it together. Stop feeling like you have to not be afraid before you go to God afraid. Like, just tell him like, hey, I'm scared, or hey, like, I don't feel like I can do this. And then when you do that, it's the unqualified yes that qualifies you. I hope that that makes sense, and I hope that it helps, but my mind was like this morning, you know what I mean? Next question is advice on expressing your feelings to a boy that you like. I really need this one. So you guys already know that I am not the most experienced in the dating area, but something that I have definitely learned is that it's okay to be open and like vulnerable and honest with someone about how you feel, but spy out the land first. Spy out the land first. Just talk to this guy. I don't know the exact details of your situation with this boy, so I don't know if you guys are already friends, if you guys already like have some sort of relationship, I would definitely say don't just outright go and confess all these feelings you think you have for a boy without even knowing if he could potentially be worth your time or potentially be worth you being that vulnerable. Okay, give it some time, spy out the land, see how he is, watch his character, all that type of stuff. And if he is someone that you think could potentially live up to your standards, then I would say that would be the next step of letting him know how you feel. Also, like, if he is someone that's pursuing you, like, all those types of things play a factor. But don't just like blurt out, hey, I feel this way, even if you do feel that way. Like, DM me, girl. Like, talk to a friend, like, talk to somebody. Don't tell him yet, because that's none of his business yet. When he earns the right to know how you feel, then you can tell him. Next question is, what do you do to feel motivated? Honestly, like, I do a couple different things. Like, it depends. I never stay in the same routine when it comes to motivation because I get bored easily. So something that really helps me is laying out goals for the week, even for the day sometimes, like writing down a to-do list. Something as simple as making a to-do list and being able to check off the things that you have gotten done on that to-do list will keep you motivated to do them. Also, I really think that people don't understand, this is also something I'm mastering too, motivation cannot come without discipline. You're not going to be motivated to do anything if you don't discipline yourself to do what you have to do. You're not going to wake up every single day and feel motivated, but you still need to discipline yourself to do the things that you need to do. Because what happens is those days that come when you don't feel motivated and then you skip a day, then the next day is a little bit harder to get back into, and then the day after that is a little bit harder, and then before you know it, you've completely like dropped the ball on whatever it is you were trying to feel motivated to do. So I would say focus on disciplining yourself first, and I think that practicing disciplining qualities will eventually improve your motivation. I hope that makes sense. I say that a lot. I always say I hope it makes sense, but like, I really just be talking, and I really hope that y'all just be getting it. You know what I'm saying? Next question is, what do you think of a Christian girl having an unsaved boyfriend? If you are in the relationship and you were in the relationship already and you got saved and then he wasn't, it could kind of be a bit more of a complicated situation because now you are living a completely different life than he is. And if he is not ready to give his heart over to God, there is nothing you can do to change him. However, if you are a Christian and you are looking to an unsaved boyfriend, do not do it. Don't do it, sis. It's just not worth the hassle. It is very unequally yoked, okay? And we already know that we shouldn't be that way, but like, there's a reason why we should not be unequally yoked. Think about how you live your life as a Christian girl. Everything that you do is because God tells you to or because he tells you not to. And you do these things because you love God so much that you're willing to obey his commands. Like, if you love me, keep my commands. That's literally what he said. So if we love him enough to keep his commandments, how can you date someone who doesn't love him enough to keep his commandments or even care or even know his commandments? Like, it's crickets in here. It's crickets in here. I am not trying to bash on anybody who is not saved or even somebody that is of a different faith. But when it comes to being unequally yoked in your faith, it absolutely is not going to work. And I know that there may be people out there that claim that it does, but somebody is compromising on some end. And you do not want to compromise your Christianity, because absolutely not. So my advice is, do not do it. Run away. Turn the other way. Red flag, girl. Red flag. Okay, last question that I'm gonna answer is, how do you find your gifting and passion? I just want to make intentional effort. I think that this effort right here is already intentional. You're trying to figure out how you find it, how you know what your passion is, and you're being intentional about asking a question to someone, to little old me, that you think could help you or guide you in the right direction. I personally believe that everything that we're passionate about or know how to do, our talents, our gifts, and all of that, were given to us by God, and we have the choice to either give it back to him or not. So I think that the things you're good at, start there. Pay attention to the things that you know how to do, and then from there, just pray and ask God, how can I use this to advance your kingdom? What do you want me to do with this? And it could be anything, okay? If anything social media has taught us, is that there is a niche for everybody. There is a niche for animal pet lovers. There's a niche for fashion, beauty, speaking, for electronics, for gamers, all those types of things. If you are good at it, you're good at it for a reason, and it's just about praying and asking God, like, how can I use this to spread light to your kingdom? Or how can I do this even in an environment where God may not be the priority in that environment, but people are able to see his light through you? So just think about the things you're good at, think about the things you like to do, and then just pray about it and see what vision God gives you. Okay guys, so that is it for this girl talk. I actually have no idea how long this is, but I just kept answering questions until I started feeling dry in the back of my throat, and I'm also hungry. I only had potato chips today, as you guys probably saw in that opening clip, but I do have more questions. So of course, as always, follow me on the gram and make sure that you guys are always paying attention to my stories, because that is where I post the Q&A thing for you guys to send me more questions that I will answer in the next girl talk. Thank you guys for watching. As always, I love you, and I will see you in a new video. Mwah!